Hey YouTube, American Lefty here, aka Pinoy122793, and I just want to explain why I like Reagan and Donald Trump. Now let's start with Reagan. Reagan did a lot of things that would help make the country great again at the time. Now in Jimmy Carter's presidency, he did not succeed that much. Inflation was very high, and he failed to release the hostages from Iran, and he did all of the sorts of stuff that the country didn't like. And he was a hard worker. Don't get me wrong, he worked very hard, just like most presidents. Not any president, but most of the presidents worked hard. He had that work ethic, but it was very incompetent. And then taxes were pretty high too. And then in 1980, when Ronald Reagan ran, he was like, oh, let's make America great again. Let's free the hostages from Iran. Let's, let's make America great again. Let's lower taxes. Let's lower the inflation rate and do supply side economics. Supply side economics could be meant for enriching the top percentage of income earners, and then corporate taxes. He wanted to lower that too, and the middle class and the lower class, they would complain like, oh, this tax system is like not fair, because the Democrats, you have to get this, guys, no matter whether you're Republican or Democrat. Democrats work from the bottom up, and Republicans taxes, they say tax cuts, but it works from the top to the bottom. All right, so that's the fact. But hey, if I were president, I would cut everybody's taxes. I wish I could do that, but if you want to strengthen the military, if you want to maintain, Republicans want a smaller government, but a smaller government wouldn't help with taxing less taxes with everybody. You got to pay the police officers, the firefighters, the emergency hospitals, the Medicare, the Medicaid, or Social Security. Nowadays, it's the Republicans that go from top to bottom, and Democrats go bottom to up. Now I'll get to why I support tax cuts for corporations and the high income earners, and tax cuts for some middle class and lower class individuals. But then all of a sudden you have to kind of raise taxes a little bit on the middle class and lower class individuals to help pay for what needs to be paid for people that need stuff, like police officers, firefighters, what else? The hospitals, the emergency rooms, welfare, healthcare, like I said before. But I support Ronald Reagan despite of his supply side economics. Yes, he said tax cuts, but I watched his movie. He said, interestingly, he said he came to office to lower taxes, so hard workers would pay less taxes and buy more things, and to help corporations grow their business and grow jobs. That's what he said. But according to Democrats, what they argue is that, they're taxing less on the rich and hurting the middle class, lower class. No, only a specific percentage of middle class and specific lower class individuals get the tax hikes, and most rich people, higher income earners, receive lower taxes. So I would say the Republican tax bracket is more complex than the Democrats, and the reason why I'm a Republican is because I believe in tax cuts to help economic growth. and cutting corporate taxes to 15% instead of like the wild 28% or 39% even. And some liberals want it above 40%, which is not good for the economy. I believe cutting corporate taxes to 15% would be ideal, like what Donald Trump wants to do. And I believe he did on his One Big Beautiful Bill. Now, Reagan also ended the Soviet Union. I watched his movie, called Reagan. He ended the Soviet Union by saying, Gorbachev, tear down this wall, and the Soviet Union folded after that. Now, here's why I support Donald Trump. Donald Trump made America great again. The illegal immigrants have not passed through for a long time. They have not entered our country illegally. There's a small percentage of illegal immigrants that entered in our country during his second term, and Donald Trump wanted to build that wall from Mexico. He said immigrants are welcome, but they have to come here legally, just like what my ancestors have done. My parents, they came here legally too, So that's why I'm Republican, And Democrats can argue, oh, they do that too because Barack Obama did it. Yeah, Barack Obama did it. And it's a part of the law. But Democrats now, they're more welcoming of illegal immigrants, especially if they're undocumented. But Republicans are much stricter. If you come into this country illegally, logically, we deport you. That's what it is. And also the Dow has reached its highest. The Dow Jones Industrial Average has hit its highest mark in history so far. And I know Donald Trump's tariffs caused the economy to slip a little bit, but those tariffs eased at some point and it helped the market rise. But at the same time, he's going to do more tariffs that if countries don't treat us fairly through trade, he's going to put more tariffs on those countries to make trade fair, more fair. And also, Donald Trump ended 9 wars. Good job, Donald Trump. And let's see his taxation. I'm all about taxes in the economy and peace through strength. Both Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump believe in peace through strength. That means the military is strong and no other country can mess with us through peace through strength. So that means wars and conflict can end with military power. And America is the most powerful military in the world. And that's just about it. I'll talk more about politics on my channel if you're interested. And whether you're Republican or Democrat, I'm all about uniting this country, but my policies are like a little bit more conservative and Republican. But at the same time, I have Democrats in my life that I disagree with and agree with. So all about peace through strength, peace in our country. And then also let's talk about ICE. ICE is meant to deport illegal aliens, and I know Donald Trump sent ICE in multiple locations across the country and wants to end illegal immigration. And he promised mass deportation, which he's doing, and that's what the voters wanted. Majority of the voters wanted. Now, the Democrats, most Democrat voters are against ICE because they're more lenient on illegal immigration. They think that they should go through a due process or whatever. But, yeah. Going to continue to protest, but Donald Trump will still be president for 3 years and a couple more months. We're almost hitting the 1-year mark of his second term, and it'll be 3 years left. And I hope another Republican would win. Even though I'm an open-minded person, I would like to see this country more united. It's divided right now. And I think Reagan's era was more united than Donald Trump's era because of the way that people were voting. He only lost one state in that second election, and then that just proved that Reagan was more unified to our country than Donald Trump. But I still like Donald Trump because he's tough, he's strong, he makes America great again. All right, and now I'll talk more about politics in this channel and whatever the news comes up in trends. So take it easy.